Hey everybody, it's Mark here. Kind of going old school today, recording with nothing but my phone. But what I'd like to do is take a quick look at major and minor arpeggios today. If you are at the stage where you're trying to solo and you find yourself repeating yourself a lot, this is one thing you can use to kind of add a little variety to it. So let me get a guitar here and we'll start taking a look at those. We'll try to make this quick today. Okay, let's take a quick look at major arpeggios right now. Let's start with the ones coming out of the E-shaped bar chord. With the bar being in the 5th fret, we'll be doing A major arpeggios. So it's simply the 1, the 3, and the 5, just like it was for the triads. Okay, so we're going to play the root, the 3rd, and the 5, the 5th. The root and the 3rd, that relationship, you can find it most anywhere on the neck, where the root is here and the 3rd is 1 fret behind it on the next string. That changes when you get down to where the tuning's a little different on the guitar, but you can find that all over the place. So that's an A. Now, when you get to the 5, right underneath the 5 on the next string is the octave. So you could run it to the octave if you wanted to. But once you get to the octave, you've got another arpeggio here. That's the root, the 3, that same relationship, and the 5 right there. And one more octave, a root on the 1st string. So you could play the full A major arpeggio for that shape right here. When you play these arpeggios, that's up to you to make them fit the song that you're playing over. But that's one way to get through that shape. And you don't have to play the full thing. You can play part of it or all of it. That's up to you. Let's look then at connecting those A chords to a couple of other shapes. Let's go to the G shape A chord and look at the arpeggios in that shape. Again, the root and the 3rd's in the same place. It's these 2 fingers. I may want to change to these 2. There's my 5. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. 1. Another octave down here. So there's your full arpeggio. Right there. Now, to connect this shape to this D shape, when you get to this octave, your arpeggio from here goes 1, 3, 5, and now we have to move up a fret to get our next root because of the tuning of the guitar. So you can go. Let me go to this shape, the arpeggios for your A-shaped bar chord next. So it starts off the same way, 1, 3, 5. But if you think about the shape of the chord, there's your 1 on the 3rd string, your 3 on the 2nd string, and your root on the 1st string. Or I'm sorry, your 5 on the 1st string. So you've got 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. So that's for your A shape. Now, if we use the E shape and the A shape, we can come to here for our 5 chord, and we have our 1, 4, 5 chord progression for the key of A, D, and E. So let's see how that would look if we just played a very basic, simple arpeggio over that chord progression. We'll do A, D, E. Okay, I just came back to my root A to end that. I could go to the octave of that. It would be like this. We go through our chords again. A, D, E. There on the 4th string is my octave for A. To make these a little bit more interesting, you can go up the arpeggio and come back down the scale. You have to work that out to make it fit the song that you're playing on. You can manipulate the timing. You can leave out a note or two. Okay, what I did there, I started in A and I went up the A arpeggio, started coming down the scale, and then went to my D arpeggio and did the same thing coming back down the scale. Change positions to E. And then from here, as I was coming back down the scale, instead of playing the next scale note, I skipped it and came back up to my next root. And you can do that all over the neck. I suggest you play with those. Now, if you want to make those minor, all you have to do is take the 3 and flatten it. And on the guitar, that's back 1 fret. So 1, 3. I take that 3, flatten it. It's right there. If I come out of this shape, that minor arpeggio is right there. To be major, play the 3rd like it normally would be. That's why it's called a major 3rd. Or flatten that 3 and play it for a minor chord. Now, I can also find that flat 3 right here. So I can play it like this. Trying to let you see where those are. Now, if you'll think about this E chord, to make it a minor chord, this E-shaped chord, to make it a minor chord, you just remove the middle finger, and what you've actually done, that is a 3rd. You're flatting the 3rd, and you're playing an A minor chord. You do the same thing on the arpeggio. You flat the 3rd. There's root, flat 3, 5, root, flat 3, 5, root. So you can see it's following the shape of that chord. That's how you make those minors. Okay, one other shape that we need to cover on our arpeggios is this C shape. In this position with this short bar in the 5th fret, this happens to be an F chord. And our arpeggio is laid out for us right here in the chord shape. The little finger's on the root, the ring finger's on the 3, and the first finger's on the 5. Right there. The octave is right here. So if I want to go up to the octave and come back down the scale, now we can take the arpeggios from that we were doing. Let's see if we can take those arpeggios and play them over a chord progression that actually has a minor chord in it. Let's take this, so you might recognize this. It was found in a lot of songs over the years. So we're going C to A minor to F to G. We'll move it up to here for a C. We're gonna go up the arpeggio, down the scale to right there. I'm gonna stop and hit the A minor. And all I'm doing is doing 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, stopping on the 3, which is one of the chord tones. It's the 3. Then I'm going to move to my F. And when I go to G, I'm going to go up the arpeggio, come back down to my 3, and slide up to my next root. So now let's play that over that chord progression. I don't have my looper pedal, so I'll call out the chords. C, A minor, F, G, C. Okay, if you'll work on those, that will open a lot of doors to you. And what I'm trying to do with the last video and this one and the next one or two is give you some background information so you can understand one where I think we'll have a lot of fun together trying to create a solo using this information. So keep practicing, and remember, those mistakes are still free.